Hello everyone, welcome back to JDCodebase. This is the web development series. Today we are learning a very important topic in the React, that is the component communication. If you understand this topic properly, your React concept will become much stronger. In the real project, components never work alone. They were always talk to each other. So today we will learn how parents send the data to the child, how child send data back to the parent, and what is lifting state up. And don't worry, I will explain everything slowly, step by step, in a very simple way. Also, this PPT available in the video description. So let's start. Now here is what we are going to learn today, and we will understand what component communication means in the React. How data move from the parent to child, child to parent, means child can send data back, or what state lifting up and common mistake beginner mistake make. So now let's understand the basic idea first. What is component communication? React apps are made of the small pieces called the components. In the last video also we discussed about the components like button component, card component, modal component, or this alert components. So think like a Lego blocks. Each component has its own job, but sometimes one component needs the data from the another component. That sharing of data is called the component communication. Now very important point comes here. React follows something called the unidirectional data flow. Means that this simply means data move from the top to bottom, from parent component to the child, not the other way. And remember this rule clearly, that your data flow from the unidirectional flow means parent to child. So let's see parent to child communication. This is the most common type in the React. Parents send the data using the something called the props, and props simply means the properties in a simple way if I say. So let's see in the practical way. So this is a normal React.js project, and by using the Vite, and also Tailwind is also installed in this. So let's create two components, parent and child. Parent.jsx, one is the child.jsx. Now RAFC React arrow function, also here RAFC React arrow function. Inside this, just connect this parent yes. So here in this parent function, let's see, I get it. Yes, this is connected perfectly. Now inside this function return the child component. That child component, here I am passing a something called the name inside this child component, that is the name, and here name is the JDCodebase. And inside the child component, so inside the child components we are taking from the props, component props, and inside here just write h1 and hello props dot name. So here child receives the props as a parameter, because in, if we say in the simple words, this is called a, this is a function normal way. If we say arrow function, and we are using props dot and it takes the parameter here, and we are using this props by using the props dot name, and parent pass the value here. Parent send the value, parent call this function. In don't forget about the component, just take it as a function, and parent send the value here, name JDCodebase. It take the value parameter here and use here. It is read only, means we cannot change it. So this is how most communication happens in the React. So if you see hello JDCodebase, and this come from the child component. Now how props work? Props stand for the properties. They are read only. That means child cannot modify them. Why? Because React want to be predictable. If child changes the parent data directly, it creates confusion. So remember, data flow down probes are immutable. These two are the very important role here. So now question comes, what if child want to send something back? That is the child parent communication. So we just learned data goes from the top to bottom. So how can child send data up? React does not allow direct upward flow. So what is the solution here? The very smart solution, that is the parent send a function to the child and child call that function. That's it. Means we cannot directly the send the data. We can send this by the function. Oh, so let's see here. Inside this, let's say inside this parent component, I am writing a function const handle click, and this receive a data, and just console.log this data, or you can also make it alert or whatever you want. Now instead of name, I am sending this handle click button. Oh, handle click function. Normal way, just a normal function I am sending as a argument. I means and receive here in the props. I means this function receive the data, and I am passing this function to child as a props here. And now in the child component, just destructure these props and receive this send data here, and here make a button, remove this button that says click me, and on click call this send data function. We already know this send data is a function, means here from parent we are sending, and this send data function get the value hello parent. So let's see here, open the console. Yes, so when I click me, it say hello parent. When I again click me, it say hello parent again and again. So here when button is clicked, child called this send data function, and send data is actually handle click from the parent, and so the data goes back to the parent, and data still flows down, but function flows down. But when child called the function, it feels like data is going back, going up, but technically React rule is not broken here. So let's move to the child parents. For example, is already now what is lifting state up? Sometimes two child component need the same data. For example, one component for the display the data count, and another component update the count. If both have the separate state, it becomes messy. So what do? We move the state to their common parent. So this is called the lifting state up. So let's see an example. Inside this parent, let's make a const count set count equal to use state, and initial value is the 0. A normal count variable by using this use state. Now let's make a two child a dot jsx and child b dot jsx. Now I am calling this remove this first rfc child a, rfc child b. Now inside this child a component show the count, means I give the value here of the count. No issue with that, a normal I am just passing the value of count here. And child b component has a set count function that says set count. So state is inside the parent, means this count state is inside the parent. Child a receive the count, child b receive the set count. Now parent control the state fully. child A only can read, child B only update the using the set count. So single source of truth here. So let's see here. In the child A, I am getting the count. Let's show here the count. Let's see here. Yes, I am receiving the 0 here, and inside this I am getting the set count. Let's say increase count on increase count, inc count, and here make a button that says increase, and on click this call this setter count, this function increase count, let's say count by 1. Increase count, and inside this parent I have to write a function that says const here no this set count, it says increase count, const increase count, that says set count is equal to count plus 1. So let's see here. Why it's not working? Here the increase count function, and also I am receiving this increase count. Okay, I forget to call this function. I'm just writing as a reference. I'm not calling here. That's why when I now it's working. So it's a single source of truth from the one place, from the parent component. Means it control all the data of this count and show the data here in child A, child B, increase count. So this prevent the bug and repeat this repeat this for this. And now why lift state up? So it keeps the data consistent, it avoids the duplicate state, it makes the debugging easier. As you see, we already see here count and increase count function, and it follows the React data flow rule. This concept is used a lot in the real project. Now common beginner mistake, beginners usually try to change the props inside the child. That is the wrong. And some beginners create the separate state in the multiple component, that creates a confusion also. And sometimes people overcomplicate single communication. So keep it simple. Always think where should this state live. That question solves many problems. Now let's quickly revise. Parent to child, we send the pass the data by props. Child to parent, we send a function via props, and share the data by using the lift setup, and React follow the unidirectional data flow. If you understand this properly, you are officially improving in the React. So that is for today's video. This topic may feel confusing in the beginning, but trust me, once you practice 3 to 4 times, it becomes very simple. I recommend you create small practice example, try passing the different data, try lifting state, and experiment it. PPT available in the description. If this video help you understand component communication clearly, like the video, share it with your friends who are learning the React, and subscribe to JDCodebase for more beginner friendly React tutorials. I will see you in the next video.